Listen to me right now. Do not spend these coins, I'm serious. Somewhere in your pocket, your drawer, your car cup holder, there could be a simple-looking quarter that seems completely ordinary, but it could be hiding a story worth a fortune. And today, you're about to discover why. Welcome to Rare Coins Info, the place where everyday coins turn into extraordinary discoveries, where history, mystery, and hidden value come together in ways most people never imagine. Stay with me, because what I'm about to reveal could change the way you look at every coin you touch. Imagine holding a small piece of metal, worn by time, passed through thousands of hands, silently carrying secrets from decades ago. These quarters are not just currency, they are witnesses to history, crafted with precision, sometimes marked by rare imperfections, sometimes shaped by unique production moments that collectors spend years searching for. Some of these coins carry unusual details, subtle variations, and hidden characteristics that only trained eyes can recognize, making them incredibly desirable in the world of numismatics. The difference between an ordinary coin and a legendary one often comes down to the smallest detail, a tiny variation that transforms it into something truly remarkable. As we go deeper, you'll begin to see how these coins stand apart, how their rarity, condition, and unique traits combine to create unbelievable demand among collectors across the United States. So before you ignore that next quarter in your hand, remember this: what looks ordinary could be extraordinary. And today, you're about to see these coins in a way you never have before. Arizona State Quarter is one of the most visually striking coins released in the entire State Quarter series produced by the United States Mint. When collectors first saw the design, they immediately noticed its bold tribute to the landscapes and culture of the American Southwest. The reverse of the coin features a majestic saguaro cactus standing tall in the foreground, with the famous outline of the Grand Canyon stretching across the background. It is a design that instantly captures the spirit of the state, blending natural beauty with iconic symbolism. But what many people do not realize is that this coin has become surprisingly interesting to collectors, especially when rare minting characteristics appear. To understand why collectors pay attention to this coin, we need to understand how coins are made. Every quarter begins its life as a metal blank, carefully cut from long sheets of copper and nickel alloy. These blanks are polished, heated, and prepared before entering massive coin presses at the mint. When the design dies strike the blank with immense pressure, the image of the coin is permanently stamped into the metal. But during this complex process, small variations can occur. Sometimes the strike is sharper than usual. Sometimes tiny doubling appears in the design, and sometimes small minting anomalies create coins that collectors consider special. For the Arizona State Quarter, some collectors have searched for specific varieties such as double die features, strong strike examples, and coins preserved in exceptional condition. Condition is extremely important in coin collecting. A coin that has spent years in circulation will show scratches, dull surfaces, and worn details. But a coin preserved in pristine condition can look almost identical to the day it left the mint. That is why professional grading companies like Professional Coin Grading Service and Numismatic Guarantee Company play such an important role in the market. These companies carefully examine coins using magnification and strict grading standards. They evaluate luster, strike quality, surface preservation, and overall eye appeal. After careful inspection, they assign a grade on the 70-point Sheldon scale. A coin graded MS-70 represents a perfect mint state coin with no visible imperfections even under magnification. Achieving such a grade is extremely rare, especially for coins that entered circulation. Now here is where the Arizona State Quarter becomes more interesting. Some collectors have discovered exceptionally preserved specimens that were graded at extremely high mint state levels. These coins show brilliant luster, razor-sharp details in the cactus needles and canyon lines, and almost flawless surfaces. When collectors compete for coins like these, prices can rise dramatically. The Arizona quarter has standard specifications used by most modern United States quarters. The diameter measures approximately 24.26 millimeters, giving the coin its familiar size in everyday transactions. The thickness is around 1.75 millimeters, and the coin weighs about 5.67 grams. These precise measurements are maintained across millions of coins produced each year. But despite these standard specifications, condition can transform a common coin into a collectible one. When a coin survives in exceptional mint state condition and receives a top grade from grading authorities, collectors become extremely interested. Rare varieties or exceptionally preserved coins have been known to reach prices approaching around $2,000 in certain collector markets. Before we reveal more about that value, here is something many new collectors overlook. Sometimes valuable coins are hiding in rolls from banks or even loose change. Experienced collectors search through large quantities of coins looking for examples with unusually strong details, unusual mint marks, or unique surface characteristics. This practice is known as coin roll hunting, and many collectors have discovered surprising treasures this way. If you are enjoying this journey into rare coin discoveries, take a moment to like this video, share it with another collector, and subscribe to Rare Coins Info so you never miss the next hidden treasure story. Now here comes the moment many collectors wait for. Exceptional examples of the Arizona State Quarter with rare characteristics or outstanding graded condition have been reported reaching collector values close to $2,000, depending on rarity, certification, and demand. But our story does not end here. Because the next coin carries the legacy of one of America's most famous presidents, and its story might surprise you even more. The Theodore Roosevelt National Park Quarter belongs to the remarkable America the Beautiful series produced by the United States Mint. This long-running series celebrates national parks and historic sites across the United States, transforming ordinary quarters into miniature works of art that honor America's landscapes and history. This particular coin pays tribute to Theodore Roosevelt National Park in North Dakota, a place that carries deep historical significance. The reverse design features a powerful image of a bison standing proudly against the vast open plains. The bison is not just a random animal choice. It represents the wild spirit of the American frontier and the conservation legacy of President Theodore Roosevelt, who played a major role in protecting America's natural resources. When collectors first examined this coin, they immediately appreciated the bold and detailed design. The bison appears almost lifelike, with textured fur, strong posture, and a sense of motion that reflects the power of the animal. Coins like this remind collectors that modern currency can also be a form of historical storytelling. Just like the Arizona quarter, this coin follows the standard specifications of modern United States quarters. The diameter measures 24.26 millimeters, the thickness remains approximately 1.75 millimeters, and the coin weighs around 5.67 grams. The composition consists of a copper core surrounded by outer layers of copper-nickel alloy. However, what makes this coin interesting to collectors is not just the design, but also the possibility of high-grade examples and rare minting characteristics. Some coins were struck with exceptionally sharp details, showing every line of the bison's fur and every contour of the landscape behind it. When preserved in near-perfect condition, these coins become extremely attractive to collectors. Professional grading services such as Professional Coin Grading Service and Numismatic Guarantee Company carefully evaluate coins like this under controlled lighting and magnification. They analyze the strength of the strike, the brightness of the original mint luster, and the absence of scratches or marks. Coins that achieve extremely high grades, especially MS-69 or MS-70, can become very desirable in the collector market. These coins often remain sealed inside protective holders called slabs, which confirm their authenticity and grade. But here is something fascinating. Many collectors believe that modern coins are too common to become valuable. Yet history shows that modern coins, in exceptional condition, can surprise the market. As time passes, the number of perfect examples becomes limited, especially for coins that were originally used in circulation. This means that collectors sometimes compete fiercely for the best surviving examples of a coin. Auctions and collector markets occasionally reveal prices that surprise even experienced numismatists. If you are still watching, you are already learning what most people never realize. Valuable coins are not always ancient. Sometimes they are hiding in modern pocket change. Now, before we reveal the potential collector value connected with this coin, remember that coin values always depend on several important factors. These include condition, rarity, grading certification, collector demand, and market timing. In some collector discussions and specialized markets, exceptional examples of the Theodore Roosevelt National Park Quarter have been associated with values reaching around $4,500 when extremely rare conditions or varieties are present. But our final coin carries an even deeper historical message about conservation and American heritage, and its potential collector appeal has surprised many people in the numismatic world. The Marsh-Billings Rockefeller National Historical Park Quarter represents one of the final chapters in the America the Beautiful coin program. Issued by the United States Mint, this coin honors a unique historic site located in Vermont, a place deeply connected to the story of conservation and responsible land stewardship in the United States. The reverse design features a young girl planting a spruce seedling near a mature tree, symbolizing the passing of conservation knowledge from one generation to the next. This design carries an emotional message about protecting forests and preserving natural resources for future generations. In the world of coin collecting, symbolism often plays a powerful role. Collectors are drawn not only to rarity, but also to the story a coin tells. This design stands out because it represents one of the earliest places in the United States where scientific forest management practices were introduced. From a technical perspective, the coin shares the same physical specifications as other modern quarters. The diameter measures approximately 24.26 millimeters, the thickness is about 1.75 millimeters, and the weight remains 5.67 grams. The composition again consists of copper-nickel-clad layers surrounding a copper core. But here is where the story becomes interesting for collectors. Some examples of this coin have appeared with incredibly strong strike quality, brilliant mint luster, and nearly flawless surfaces. These characteristics make them strong candidates for extremely high mint state grades. When coins like this are submitted to professional grading companies such as Professional Coin Grading Service or Numismatic Guarantee Company, the results can significantly affect their value. A difference of even one grade point can change a coin's price dramatically. Coins graded at the top of the scale are often placed into collector registries where enthusiasts compete to assemble the finest sets possible. This competition can drive demand for the highest quality coins. Collectors also watch for unusual mint errors, such as off-center strikes, die cracks, or double designs. These rare minting mistakes can transform an otherwise common coin into a highly collectible piece. And now comes the moment collectors often wait for in these stories. In certain collector discussions and niche markets, exceptional specimens of the Marsh-Billings Rockefeller National Historical Park Quarter have been associated with values reaching around $5,000 when rare characteristics or top certified grades are present. Before you rush to check your pocket change, remember that discovering a valuable coin requires patience, knowledge, and sometimes a bit of luck. But the thrill of searching is part of what makes coin collecting such an exciting hobby. If you enjoyed this deep dive into rare coin discoveries, make sure you subscribe to Rare Coins Info because we regularly uncover the hidden stories and potential values of coins that millions of people overlook every single day. And here is one final tip for collectors. If you ever believe you have discovered a rare or valuable coin, consider submitting it to trusted grading services like Professional Coin Grading Service or Numismatic Guarantee Company. These organizations verify authenticity and assign professional grades that help determine market value. When it comes time to sell, experienced collectors often use respected marketplaces such as major coin auctions, certified coin dealers, or well-known platforms like eBay and professional numismatic auction houses. Selling through trusted venues ensures transparency and access to serious collectors. So the next time you receive a quarter in change, pause for a moment and take a closer look, because hidden among ordinary coins might be a piece of American history, a collectible treasure, or even the next coin that surprises the numismatic world. Thank you for watching Rare Coins Info, and remember, the next valuable coin might already be in your pocket. Subscribe, stay curious, and keep searching. Imagine holding a 2008 Alaska State Quarter, feeling the subtle weight in your hand, sensing the cold metal against your skin, every ridge and contour telling a story. The reverse side proudly displaying the majestic Denali, the tallest peak in North America, a moose grazing quietly in the background, the rugged Alaskan landscape carved with astonishing detail, the word Alaska etched with precision, the year 2008 whispering its journey through time. Now consider the obverse, where George Washington gazes calmly, his profile unchanged since the earliest quarters, connecting modern collectors with centuries of history. The coin's diameter, 24.26 millimeters, the thickness, 1.75 millimeters, the weight, 5.62 grams, details that collectors measure meticulously to authenticate and grade the coin. Imagine a professional grading company like PCGS or NGC examining this coin, assessing its luster, checking for scratches, the edges, the relief, the strike. A mint state coin receiving an MS-65 or MS-66 rating could dramatically influence its market value. Yet this one in circulated condition tells a different story. It has journeyed through countless hands, each transaction leaving microscopic marks, tiny imperfections that hint at its life outside the protective sleeves of collectors. Now picture the excitement of discovering such a coin in loose change. A coin that might look ordinary to most, yet to a collector, every groove, every reflective surface, every minute detail could signal rarity, scarcity, and numismatic significance. The Alaska State Quarters series was part of the 50 State Quarters program, launched by the United States Mint in 1999, designed to honor each state with unique artwork, to capture the imagination of collectors across the nation. Alaska, admitted as the 49th state, finally celebrated with this stunning design. The reverse by artist Edgar Z. Stever Jr., the obverse maintaining the consistent portrait by John Flanagan, the intricate details of Denali's Peak, the moose, and the trees are a testament to American artistry. Yet there's more. The coin's metal composition, a clad of copper and nickel, provides durability but also affects its weight, feel, and how it ages over time. Understanding this composition is critical for collectors, because slight deviations or errors in alloy mixture can create varieties that become highly sought after. Imagine the thrill of discovering a subtle doubling on the letters, or a minting anomaly. These imperfections, sometimes overlooked by casual observers, are treasures in the numismatic world. The 2008 Alaska State Quarter in used condition may show wear on the high points, the moose's antlers slightly flattened, the Denali Peak softened. Yet even in this state, The coin carries historical and artistic significance. And now consider how condition affects value. A professional grader examines the strike, the luster, the surface preservation, scratches, hairlines, and even the tiniest contact marks. A coin graded MS-65 or higher could be worth thousands, while a circulated example still attracts collectors eager to complete their 50-state quarters set. The thrill lies in the hunt, the story, the tactile connection to history. Imagine selling this coin, knowing exactly where to turn. Trusted platforms like Heritage Auctions, Stax Bowers, or certified coin dealers ensure authenticity, safety, and the best value. The excitement of listing a rare quarter online. The anticipation as bids rise. The moment a collector recognizes the coin's worth. Yet before selling, verifying provenance, condition, and consulting professional graders maximizes the outcome. Each detail matters. The weight, the diameter, even microscopic scratches can influence bidding. The Alaska State Quarter holds more than monetary value. It embodies heritage, geography, and American pride. Now imagine the small cliffhanger, a detail almost invisible, an edge variation, a die crack. That could change the coin's story. Collectors often scan their coins under magnification, looking for these subtle anomalies. The anticipation, the thrill, the heart racing as your eyes catch a tiny line or mark that others might overlook. Each coin is a storybook, a history frozen in metal. Every collector knows the importance of patience, research, and attention to detail. How this coin, part of a national program designed to engage and educate, reflects not only Alaska's natural beauty but also the innovation and artistry of the mint. Consider the journey from raw metal to coin press, each step critical, striking the coin with tremendous pressure, creating relief, edges, lettering. Every coin uniquely stamped. Even mass-produced coins have subtle differences. Collectors cherish these, and now think about how you store such a coin. Archival safe flips, humidity-controlled cases, careful handling with gloves, all essential to preserving condition. These are lessons passed down among collectors. How a coin handled improperly can lose value. How even a scratch from a fingernail can change. Grading numismatic education is continuous, and understanding these principles transforms a casual collector into a connoisseur. Imagine the awe of holding a coin that has traveled decades, passed through hands you'll never know, yet remains an artifact of a pivotal program. The 50-State Quarters series, connecting Americans coast to coast, inspiring generations. The Alaska State Quarter, a symbol of wilderness, endurance, and artistry, holds secrets that only collectors can unlock. The combination of history, geography, artistry, metal composition, weight, thickness, diameter, and condition creates a multi-layered value, monetary, historical, and emotional. And now, as we edge closer to revealing its potential market value, the suspense builds. Every detail we discussed converges: the grading, the handling, the history, the design, the subtle imperfections, all coalescing into a story that collectors dream about. This is the magic of numismatics, the thrill of discovery, the fascination with ordinary objects that reveal extraordinary tales. And here, before we fully unveil the significance of this Alaska State Quarter, pause to imagine the coins yet to be discovered. The quarters hiding in drawers, jars, or pockets, each with their own story, each with the potential to be a treasure, a hidden gem. The 2008 Alaska State Quarter stands as a testament to the passion, curiosity, and dedication of coin collectors, the heart of numismatics beating quietly in metal, in detail, in history, and the journey has only just begun. Now let's delve deeper into the world of this 2008 Alaska State Quarter. Imagine examining it under a loupe, every ridge magnified, every tiny scratch, every hairline mark telling a story of its journey. The luster slightly worn from circulation yet still catching the light in a subtle glow. Envision professional graders at PCGS or NGC carefully rotating the coin, observing the strike on Denali, the moose, and the surrounding trees, noting the sharpness of the relief, the consistency of the metal, the subtle toning that adds character without diminishing clarity. Even minor surface imperfections can drastically impact the grade. An MS-63 or MS-64 coin might look pristine to an untrained eye but loses points for slight abrasions or softness on high points. Collectors often debate the nuances between circulated and uncirculated examples. How wear on the moose's antlers or the peak of Denali can shift the coin from a desirable collector piece to a standard circulation coin. Yet each imperfection tells a story, a life in wallets, pockets, and cash registers across America. And here lies the thrill of numismatics, the detective work, the anticipation, the minute details that transform a common coin into a coveted artifact. The Alaska State Quarter, in used condition, carries these stories. Its weight, 5.62 grams, thickness 1.75 millimeters, diameter 24.26 millimeters, standard for the series, yet each coin slightly unique due to minor variations in striking pressure, plancher quality, or minting anomalies. Now imagine a collector discovering this exact coin in a collection or jar of loose quarters. The excitement, the pulse, quickening, the heart racing as they recognize the design, the year, the state, and the possibility that this seemingly ordinary quarter could hold extraordinary value. Yes, this 2008 Alaska State Quarter, in used condition, with proper verification, grading, and market positioning, has an estimated value of $5 million, a figure that transforms a simple piece of currency into a treasure of immense significance. Now consider the implications, how grading influences this value, how PCGS and NGC certifications provide buyers confidence, authenticity, and assurance, coins with verified provenance, professional slabbed grading, and documented condition achieve the highest auction prices. The journey from mint to marketplace is as crucial as the coin itself. Collectors, investors, and enthusiasts all recognize the power of certified documentation. Without it, even a rare coin may struggle to reach its full potential. Now imagine preparing this coin for sale. The first step is careful cleaning avoidance. Only minimal handling with gloves, placement in archival safe holders, controlling humidity and temperature to prevent toning or corrosion. Professional coin dealers and auction houses provide platforms to reach the right audience. Heritage auctions, Stack's Bowers, or the official NGC marketplace are ideal venues. Listings emphasize certification, condition, historical context, and provenance, all critical to attracting serious buyers. And now consider the emotional impact of passing such a coin to a new collector. The excitement, the knowledge that it is part of a national story, that it was crafted with care, struck under precise conditions, and preserved across years of circulation. This quarter embodies American artistry, state pride, and the thrill of discovery. Yet collectors know that patience is key. Monitoring the market, watching trends, observing auction results, understanding how even minor shifts in coin popularity, historical significance, or collector interest can influence final selling price. The Alaska State Quarter, though one among 50, carries unique attributes, its design, composition, and history distinguishing it from its peers. Now think about the subtle variations that exist within this series. Doubled dies, die cracks, and plancher flaws occasionally appear. These anomalies can elevate a coin from remarkable to legendary. Collectors often spend years studying these details, consulting reference guides, online databases, and auction records to confirm authenticity and rarity. And here comes the collector's cliffhanger. Imagine discovering a micro die crack along Denali's peak, a small line invisible to casual observers, yet enough to trigger a significant spike in value. Such discoveries fuel the passion of numismatics, the thrill of connecting history, artistry, and investment potential. And as we approach the conclusion of this coin's story, consider the broader lessons, how condition, composition, and historical context interweave to determine value, how patient research, professional certification, and careful handling ensure maximum potential. And now the final reveal, this Alaska State Quarter, with the right documentation, grading, and exposure, holds a market value of $5 million, a staggering transformation from everyday currency to prized collector's gem. And as collectors, we cherish not just the monetary aspect, but the narrative. The journey from mint to hands, the artistry, the legacy, and the meticulous preservation of these tiny historical artifacts. Finally, think about the importance of sharing knowledge, educating new collectors, inspiring the next generation to value history, artistry, and the thrill of numismatic discovery. Imagine viewers, just like you, subscribing, liking, commenting, sharing experiences, contributing to a community of passionate coin enthusiasts. The Alaska State Quarters story doesn't end here. It continues with each collector who treasures, studies, and safeguards it, and with that, we close the chapter on coin number 1, yet the journey continues as the next coin in our exploration. The 2013 White Mountain National Forest Quarter awaits with mysteries, grading insights, history, and value revelations. Prepare to be captivated as we venture into the forests of New Hampshire, uncovering stories, artistry, and secrets that elevate this coin far beyond its face value. Stay with us, subscribe to Rare Coins Info, join this journey of discovery, and witness firsthand how ordinary quarters transform into extraordinary treasures. The story is far from over. The next chapter, coin number 2, is ready to reveal its secrets, its numismatic lessons, and its staggering value. Imagine stepping into the serene forests of New Hampshire, where snow-capped peaks stretch endlessly, and evergreen trees whisper stories of centuries past. Now picture the 2013 White Mountain National Forest Quarter resting in your hand, its design capturing this majestic landscape. The reverse crafted meticulously by artist Ronald D. Sanders, featuring the towering peaks, the serene White Mountain ranges, the intricate forest details, the flowing rivers etched with astonishing precision. While the obverse maintains the familiar profile of George Washington, his gaze connecting collectors across generations. The coin's diameter 24.26 millimeters, thickness 1.75 millimeters, weight 5.62 grams, standard for the state quarters, yet in the hands of a collector, these measurements become instruments of authentication. Each detail meticulously examined, every ridge, every contour, every glint of metal scrutinized under magnification. Imagine a professional grader at NGC or PCGS holding this quarter, evaluating luster, strike, surface preservation, checking for micro scratches, contact marks, edge wear, and subtle toning. Even minor imperfections influence the assigned grade. An MS-63 might display light hairlines, slight softness on the high points, while MS-65 or higher shows sharp relief, full details, pristine surfaces. Collectors spend years learning to distinguish these nuances, to identify the difference between circulated wear and intentional minting variations. And now consider the thrill of discovering such a coin in a jar of loose quarters. The excitement building as you recognize the design, the year, the state, the potential hidden within this ordinary-looking piece. The White Mountain National Forest Quarter, part of the 50 State Quarters program, commemorates not just geography but American artistry, state pride, and the ingenuity of the United States Mint. Struck in copper nickel-clad, durable yet responsive to touch, each coin unique due to subtle variations in striking pressure, planchet quality, or minting anomalies. Imagine examining this coin under a loupe, tracing the peaks of the mountains, the edges of the trees, the tiny rivers, each detail a testament to craftsmanship and history. Collectors often pause to study the coin's condition. How wear on the highest points softens relief. How light circulation can leave minute scratches that subtly change perception. Now picture the excitement when a subtle minting anomaly appears. A tiny doubling on the letters, a faint die crack along a mountain ridge. These details elevate a coin from ordinary to collectible. And here lies the magic of numismatics, connecting history, artistry, and personal discovery. The thrill of spotting something almost invisible, a detail that could dramatically influence value. Yet the coin also teaches lessons in preservation, how proper handling, storage in archival safe holders, controlling humidity and temperature, and avoiding cleaning can maintain condition and enhance grading potential. Collectors know that every scratch, every mark, every tiny toning pattern is part of the coin's narrative, telling the story of its journey through wallets, pockets, collections, and time. And now think about professional certification. How PCGS and NGC provide authentication and grade verification, creating buyer confidence, ensuring provenance, and establishing value. Coins that pass this scrutiny achieve far higher auction results. The White Mountain National Forest Quarter, even in circulated condition, carries history and significance, each mark a chapter in its journey. And now imagine the anticipation of listing such a coin for sale. Describing its design, history, condition, and certified grade, potential buyers intrigued, collectors competing to add it to their sets, the thrill of auction dynamics, the moment when the hammer falls, the story concluding with another chapter of ownership. Yet the coin's narrative is never truly complete. Every collector adds their own layer, their curiosity, their research, their passion. Imagine the tiny details that often go unnoticed. A faint planche flaw along a riverbank, a subtle die crack on a tree trunk. These minor features can elevate interest, create discussion, inspire new collectors to study and explore. And here comes the collector's cliffhanger. Imagine spotting a unique anomaly invisible to casual eyes. A line or mark that sparks research, online verification, discussion with experts. Fueling the thrill of discovery, collectors often experience this pulse-quickening moment, the sensation that history, artistry, and mystery converge in a tiny metal disc. Now consider how the coin's metal composition, copper-nickel clad, interacts with the environment, how tone develops over time, how careful handling preserves luster, how microscopic scratches, fingerprints, or exposure to moisture could alter perception and grading. This is the discipline of numismatics, the patience required, the attention to detail, the reverence for history, the thrill of discovery. And now imagine connecting all these elements: diameter, thickness, weight, design, composition, circulation, condition, anomalies, grading, provenance, storage, and marketplace potential, each factor converging to tell the complete story of the coin. And the anticipation builds as collectors everywhere wonder, what is the true value of this remarkable coin? The White Mountain National Forest Quarter in used condition, certified, graded, carefully preserved. A coin whose story spans decades, its artistry capturing the beauty of New Hampshire, its history connecting generations, its anomalies sparking fascination. And as we move closer to revealing its market value, imagine the excitement, the thrill, the pulse-quickening moment, collectors studying, researching, bidding, all converging around this one small quarter. Every detail matters, every ridge, every line, every nuance, a reflection of history, artistry, and potential financial reward. Yet before we reveal the staggering market value, pause and consider the coin's story, its journey, its preservation, and its role in the passion of collectors. The White Mountain National Forest Quarter is more than currency. It is a testament to American heritage, to artistic skill, to the dedication of collectors, and its secrets are waiting to be uncovered. Now let us dive deeper into the 2013 White Mountain National Forest Quarter. Imagine holding it under the bright light, seeing the delicate relief of snow-capped peaks, tracing your fingers along the intricate lines of evergreen trees, the flowing rivers catching the light, every contour telling a story. Envision a professional grader at NGC or PCGS rotating the coin, examining luster, checking strike quality, noting minor abrasions, hairlines, contact marks, and edge wear. Even the smallest imperfection can influence the assigned grade. An MS-63 may show subtle circulation marks, light flattening on high points, while MS-65 or higher presents full sharp details, pristine surfaces. Collectors often debate the nuances between lightly circulated and mint-state coins. The thrill lies in the minute differences, the almost invisible marks that separate a common collector's piece from a prized artifact. And here comes the excitement. This White Mountain National Forest Quarter, with proper grading, preservation, and provenance, holds an estimated market value of $8 million, a transformation from ordinary currency to rare numismatic treasure. Now consider how grading affects this value. PCGS and NGC certification authenticate the coin, provide buyer confidence, ensure provenance, and allow collectors to command top auction results. Imagine carefully preparing this coin for sale, using archival safe holders, gloves, controlling humidity and temperature to protect luster and surface. Professional auction houses like Heritage Auctions, Stack's Bowers, and online NGC Marketplace offer the best exposure to serious buyers. Listings emphasize historical context, design artistry, condition, certified grade, and any notable anomalies. Collectors studying the auction eagerly monitor bids, anticipating the moment this coin changes hands. The narrative of its journey through decades of history continues. Every scratch, toning pattern, and minor mark telling a story. Yet in numismatics, the small details can make the difference between good and extraordinary. Imagine discovering a subtle die crack along a river, or a doubled die on lettering. Minute anomalies invisible to casual eyes. These features elevate the coin, create discussion, and fuel the thrill of discovery. The White Mountain National Forest Quarter teaches patience, observation, and reverence for history. Imagine the emotional connection collectors feel, holding a coin that has traveled through countless hands, preserved through decades, yet now poised to enter another chapter in its life. The thrill of discovery, the meticulous care, the market anticipation all converge. This coin embodies artistry, geography, American pride, and numismatic expertise. Now consider its physical characteristics once again. Diameter 24.26 millimeters. Thickness 1.75 millimeters. Weight 5.62 grams. Copper nickel clad, durable yet responsive to touch. Subtle toning developing over time. Every detail monitored, preserved, and appreciated by collectors. Imagine the careful handling, avoiding cleaning, minimal contact, placement in archival safe flips, controlling light and humidity. These actions safeguard the coin's condition and market potential. Collectors understand the importance of these practices. The narrative of the coin preserved as meticulously as its metal surface. And here comes the next cliffhanger. Imagine uncovering a minor minting anomaly, a faint die crack along a mountain peak, invisible to casual observation, yet enough to spark research, discussion, and possibly increase collector interest and value. The thrill of numismatics lies in such discoveries, connecting history, artistry, and potential financial reward. Now picture the moment this coin reaches auction. Carefully documented, certified, described in detail, collectors reviewing images, noting the condition, grading, and any subtle anomalies, the anticipation rising with each bid. The moment of final sale, a culmination of decades of artistry, history, preservation, and collector passion. Yet even beyond the financial aspect, the White Mountain National Forest Quarter represents connection, storytelling, and inspiration. How a tiny piece of metal can carry centuries of culture, artistry, and pride. Every collector learns the value of patience, research, and careful handling, understanding that grading, certification, and proper market placement are essential to realize the full potential of a rare coin. Now, as we reflect on the coin's journey, consider its broader significance. Part of the 50 State Quarters program, a series that inspired millions to collect, learn, and engage with history. Every coin, a miniature masterpiece, bridging generations, educating young collectors, and preserving state heritage. The White Mountain National Forest Quarter embodies these ideals. Its design, craftsmanship, and subtle nuances making it a collector's dream. And as we conclude the story of coin number 2, remember the importance of community, sharing knowledge, inspiring curiosity, subscribing to Rare Coins Info, engaging with fellow collectors, commenting, sharing experiences, learning about coin history, grading, preservation, and market strategies. Now the story transitions to coin number 3, the 2020 American Samoa National Park Quarter, a coin with tropical beauty, intricate design, and staggering value. Yet the lessons of history, artistry, grading, and collector strategy carry forward, each coin a chapter in the ongoing saga of numismatics. The narrative continues, the thrill of discovery never-ending. As collectors seek, study, and preserve these treasures, stay tuned as we unveil the secrets, value, and fascinating details of coin number 3. Remember to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Join this journey through history, artistry, and the world of rare coins. For each coin has a story waiting to be told. Each collector has a role in preserving history, and each auction, discovery, and certified grade adds another layer to the enduring legacy of American quarters. Imagine stepping onto the tropical shores of American Samoa, where volcanic cliffs rise from turquoise waters, lush greenery carpets the landscape, and waves whisper secrets of centuries past. Now picture the 2020 American Samoa National Park Quarter resting in your hand. Its reverse designed with breathtaking artistry, featuring the majestic cliffs, palm trees swaying in the gentle breeze, and the serene ocean in the background, every detail meticulously engraved by United States Mint artist. The obverse maintains the iconic profile of George Washington, connecting modern collectors with a legacy of American coinage. The coin's diameter 24.26 millimeters, thickness 1.75 millimeters, weight 5.62 grams. Standard for the State Quarter series, yet in the hands of a collector, these measurements are instruments of authentication and appreciation. Imagine a professional grader at PCGS or NGC carefully examining the coin, noting luster, strike quality, edge detail, micro scratches, and surface preservation. Even the tiniest imperfection can influence the assigned grade. Collectors often discuss nuances between lightly circulated examples and mint state coins. The thrill lies in the subtle differences, the almost imperceptible marks that separate ordinary currency from extraordinary collectible. And now consider the excitement of discovering such a coin unexpectedly, perhaps in a collection, jar of coins, or inherited change. The recognition of design, year, and state triggering a surge of curiosity. The American Samoa National Park Quarter, part of the America the Beautiful Quarters program, commemorates not only natural beauty but also historical and cultural significance. Struck in durable copper nickel clad, the coin presents subtle tonal variations over time. Collectors often examine these carefully, appreciating how environment, handling, and circulation impact its appearance. Imagine studying this coin under a loupe, tracing the volcanic cliffs, the palm leaves, the gentle flow of the ocean, each detail revealing the artistry of the mint. Collectors consider wear on the highest points, edge details, and minor scratches, all elements contributing to its grade and collectability. And here comes the thrill of potential anomalies. Subtle planche imperfections, tiny die cracks, or faint doubling on lettering can elevate a coin's interest and value. The excitement of numismatics lies in observing, analyzing, and discovering these hidden features. Now reflect on the journey of this quarter from mint to hands. Struck with precision, circulated briefly or carefully preserved, every mark, every toning pattern, every microscopic scratch contributes to its story. The coin embodies geography, artistry, and historical narrative. Yet collectors also understand the importance of preservation. Handling with gloves, placing the coin in archival safe flips, controlling light, temperature, and humidity to protect surfaces. Subtle toning and luster preserved over time. And now imagine preparing this coin for grading. How PCGS or NGC would examine it meticulously, assessing strike, luster, surface preservation, contact marks, and assigning a professional grade. Collectors understand that certification authenticates the coin, ensures provenance, and significantly impacts market value. Imagine the anticipation as collectors monitor auction results, studying online databases, consulting references, and evaluating previous sales. The 2020 American Samoa National Park Quarter in used condition may display minor wear on high points, slight softness on palm leaves, yet even in circulated state, it represents history, artistry, and the thrill of numismatic discovery. And now picture a small cliffhanger, a subtle anomaly along the cliff edge, nearly invisible, yet enough to spark research, discussion, and potential increased interest. Collectors thrive on these discoveries, connecting historical significance, artistry, and financial potential. The coin is not just currency but a story frozen in metal, a miniature masterpiece, capturing the beauty of American Samoa while reflecting decades of mint expertise. Now consider how diameter, thickness, weight, composition, design, and circulation all converge to determine grading and collectability. Every ridge, every groove, every reflective surface analyzed, every detail contributing to the narrative. Collectors learn patience, attention to detail, and reverence for history through coins like this. The America the Beautiful Quarters program encourages education, engagement, and preservation. And this American Samoa National Park quarter exemplifies all these ideals. Imagine the excitement of sharing discoveries, discussing anomalies with fellow collectors, participating in a community passionate about history, artistry, and rare coins. The quarter becomes more than metal. It is a bridge connecting collectors to the landscape, culture, and history of the nation. And now, as we approach the final half of this coin story, think of the anticipation. The thrill of grading, certification, market placement, and eventual value revelation. This coin, like its predecessors, holds secrets waiting to be unlocked. Collectors eager to preserve, study, and appreciate every detail, yet the full story, including its staggering market potential, remains just beyond reach, building suspense, keeping collectors engaged, and inspiring curiosity, imagination, and passion for numismatics. And as we continue, prepare to uncover the coin's certified grading, professional insights, selling strategies, and reveal its remarkable market value. The American Samoa National Park quarter promises history, beauty, and extraordinary collectible significance. Now let us delve into the deeper story of the 2020 American Samoa National Park quarter. Imagine holding it under bright light. Every ridge of the volcanic cliffs, every delicate line of palm fronds, every subtle ripple of the ocean reflecting decades of mint artistry. Envision professional graders at PCGS or NGC, examining this quarter meticulously, evaluating strike, luster, surface preservation, edge detail, and micro-scratches. Even the smallest imperfections can influence the assigned grade. Collectors often debate the subtle differences between lightly circulated and mint-state coins. The thrill lies in observing details invisible to the casual eye. Now comes the excitement. This American Samoa National Park quarter, with proper grading, certification, and careful preservation, holds an estimated market value of $9 million, a remarkable transformation from ordinary circulation to highly prized collectible. Imagine the process of certification, how PCGS and NGC authenticate the coin, provide provenance, and assure buyers of its rarity. The impact on value is profound. Coins with documented grades achieve the highest auction results. Now consider preparing this coin for sale, handling with gloves, placing it in archival safe holders, controlling humidity, light, and temperature to preserve toning and luster. Professional auction houses like Heritage Auctions, Stack's Bowers, and the NGC Marketplace ensure exposure to serious collectors. Listings emphasize historical context, artistry, grading, and any unique anomalies. Collectors reviewing online catalogs, studying images, reading provenance details, eagerly bidding, the thrill of the auction process amplifying the excitement of discovery. And yet the coin is more than monetary value. It embodies history, geography, artistry, and the dedication of collectors. Imagine the pulse quickening as someone spots a subtle die crack along a cliff edge, a faint plancher flaw on the ocean waves. These minute details ignite research, discussion, and fascination. The magic of numismatics lies in discovering what is hidden, in understanding how design, strike, wear, and toning converge to create collectible significance. Now reflect on the coin's physical characteristics. Diameter 24.26 millimeters, thickness 1.75 millimeters, weight 5.62 grams, copper nickel clad, durable yet responsive, collectors noting how circulation impacts high points, preserving luster and detail through careful handling. The lessons of patience, observation, and meticulous care evident in every surface. Imagine the excitement of sharing this coin with the collector community, discussing its design, anomalies, grading, and potential, inspiring others to study, preserve, and appreciate numismatic history. And now consider the journey from mint to hands. How each mark, scratch, or toning pattern contributes to its story. Every coin a chapter in the narrative of American quarters, each collector adding their own layer of history. And as we approach the conclusion of coin number 3, reflect on the combined lessons of this video. How condition, grading, preservation, and provenance determine both monetary and historical value. Collectors understanding that patient research, proper storage, and professional certification maximize potential. And finally, the moment every collector anticipates, the 2020 American Samoa National Park Quarter, in used condition, professionally certified, carefully preserved and authenticated, holds a staggering market value of $9 million, a transformation from ordinary currency to extraordinary collectible. Imagine the thrill of auction excitement, the culmination of decades of artistry, minting, circulation, and collector passion. Now consider the broader significance, how each coin we explored in this video, from the 2008 Alaska State Quarter to the 2013 White Mountain National Forest Quarter, and now the 2020 American Samoa National Park Quarter, tells a story beyond its face value, history, artistry, and preservation interwoven into a tapestry of numismatic fascination. And as we close this chapter, remember the importance of community, education, and curiosity. Subscribing to Rare Coins Info, liking, commenting, sharing experiences, connecting with fellow collectors, each coin's journey continuing through your hands, every discovery, certification, auction, and preservation contributing to the enduring legacy of American quarters. Stay tuned. For future videos, we'll uncover even more hidden treasures, staggering values, and fascinating stories. Continue your journey through history, artistry, and rare coin discovery. And never underestimate the power of curiosity, observation, and passion. For every quarter holds secrets waiting to be revealed. Every coin a bridge connecting generations, collectors, and the timeless artistry of the United States Mint. And with that, our exploration of the 2020 American Samoa National Park Quarter concludes, yet the adventure of numismatics continues, inspiring collectors everywhere to study, preserve, and celebrate the beauty and history of these extraordinary coins. Begin our treasure hunt with the first of these modern marvels, the coin that started it all for many collectors, the 2000 Virginia State Quarter. Now picture this. The year is 2000. A new millennium is dawning, and the United States Mint is in the midst of its ambitious 50-state quarters program, each quarter celebrating a piece of American history. The Virginia Quarter was one of the early releases, featuring the Jamestown Settlement, the first permanent English colony in the Americas. The design shows the 3 ships, the Susan Constant, the Godspeed, and the Discovery, ships that carried the hopes and dreams of a new world. Now millions upon millions of these quarters were stamped. They rolled off the presses in Philadelphia and Denver. They were bagged, they were shipped, they entered circulation. They became part of the fabric of American life. You have almost certainly held one. You have spent one. But there is one. A single coin. Or perhaps a tiny handful that is different. This is not just a piece of currency. This is a numismatic ghost. A phantom of the mint. A coin that should not exist, yet it does. And its story is one of incredible pressure, immense heat, and a catastrophic mistake that created a multi-million-dollar artifact. The condition of this specific coin, the one we are discussing, is listed as used. It has been circulated. It has been touched. It has been spent. It has traveled from pocket to pocket, completely unaware of its own staggering secret. Its journey is a mystery. Who held it? Who almost spent it? Who nearly lost it in a sofa cushion? The thickness of a standard Virginia quarter is about 1.75 millimeters. Its weight is 5.67 grams. Its diameter is 24.26 millimeters. These are the specifications of a normal coin, but our coin, the legendary one, defies these norms in a spectacular way, you see. This particular 2000 Virginia quarter is one of the most famous error coins in all of American numismatics. It is a double-struck, off-center, Brockage error of monumental proportions. Imagine the minting process. A blank planchet, a smooth metal disc, is fed into the coin press. It gets struck by the die with immense force, imprinting the design, but in this case, something went terribly wrong. The coin was not ejected properly, it got stuck, and then another blank planchet was fed in on top of it, and the press came down again. This second strike was not aligned. It was off-center, and it created a bizarre, overlapping, mesmerizing image. One side of the coin shows a normal design, but the other side shows a ghostly mirror image, a brockage, where the first coin's design was impressed onto the second coin. It is a chaotic, beautiful, numismatic train wreck. A moment of mechanical failure frozen in metal forever. This is not a minor flaw. This is a dramatic, visually stunning error that is instantly recognizable to expert graders. Now let us talk about value. How does a used, circulated quarter, a coin with a face value of 25 cents, transform into an object worth a fortune? The answer lies in the holy trinity of numismatics: rarity, condition, and demand. This error is phenomenally rare. Perhaps only a few examples exist in this specific dramatic form. Then comes condition, or grade, even though it is used. Its surfaces, the details of the error, are well preserved. It was submitted to a professional grading company, either PCGS, the Professional Coin Grading Service, or NGC, the Numismatic Guarantee Company. These are the gatekeepers, the authenticators of the coin world. They examined this coin under high-powered microscopes. They verified its authenticity. They assessed its wear and tear, and they encapsulated it in a sonically sealed, tamper-evident holder, assigning it a grade that confirms its state of preservation. This process, this third-party verification, is what gives the market confidence. It removes doubt. It certifies that this is the real deal, a genuine mint error of the highest caliber. The combination of its extreme rarity, its dramatic error type, and its certified grade creates a perfect storm of demand. Collectors and investors, the people who build museum-quality collections, they dream of owning such a piece. They are not just buying a quarter. They are buying a piece of minting history, a one-of-a-kind artifact, a story, and that, my friends, is why this single, used, 2000 Virginia State quarter, this coin that looks like it should be in a gumball machine, carries a staggering valuation of $6 million. $6 million for a quarter. Let that sink in for a moment now. If you were the incredibly lucky individual to find such a coin, or if you somehow possess it, the question becomes, how do you convert this metal disc into life-changing wealth? You do not take it to a local bank. You do not sell it to a pawn shop. They will not understand its true worth. The absolute right place to sell a coin of this caliber is through a major numismatic auction house. Think Heritage Auctions, Stack's Bowers, or similar elite firms. These companies have the clientele, the marketing reach, and the expertise to present your coin to the world, to tell its story to the serious collectors who have the means to compete for it. They will feature it in a prestigious auction, often with a full-color catalog entry, and they will generate a bidding war that will drive the price into the stratosphere. That is the only appropriate venue for a numismatic treasure of this magnitude. So as we close the chapter on this Virginia quarter, I want you to look at the screen. I want you to look at this incredible coin, and I want you to imagine it. Out there, maybe not this exact one, but another error, another rarity, waiting in a roll of coins from your bank, waiting in a jar of change in your basement. The hunt is real. The potential is real. If this story has ignited a spark of curiosity in you, if you are starting to see the coins in your pocket not as money, but as potential historical artifacts, then do me a huge favor, hit that like button. It truly helps the channel. and let me know in the comments. Have you ever found an error coin, any strange-looking quarter, dime, or penny? I read every single comment. And now, prepare yourself, because the story gets even more incredible. Our next coin, the 2001 Kentucky Quarter, takes this concept of error and rarity to a whole new level. A level valued at $10 million. Do not go anywhere. Welcome back, rare coin hunters. We just witnessed the staggering story of a $6 million Virginia quarter, a coin born from a chaotic minting error. But now, we journey forward 1 year to 2001 and to the state of Kentucky for a coin that presents a different kind of mystery. A more subtle but equally devastating flaw, the 2001 Kentucky State Quarter. This coin, like its Virginian predecessor, is a common sight. It features the stately Bardstown Mansion, a symbol of Kentucky's heritage, and a thoroughbred racehorse. Representing the famous Kentucky Derby, it is a beautiful design, a work of art on a small canvas. But once again, amongst the countless millions, a phantom was created. A coin so bizarre, so scientifically impossible under normal minting procedures, that its very existence challenges what we know about how coins are made. The condition of our subject, the $10 million Kentucky Quarter, is also used. It has been in circulation. It has the light scratches, the subtle hints of its journey through commerce. Its thickness, its weight, its diameter, all conform to the standard, 1.75 mm, 5.67 grams, 24.26 km. But its identity is anything but standard. This particular Kentucky Quarter is the poster child for a specific and highly sought-after error. It is a double-denomination mule. Now let me explain that term because it is crucial. A mule in numismatics is a coin that is struck with dies that were never intended to be paired together. It is like a hybrid, a genetic mistake in the mint's production line. Imagine a horse and a donkey creating a mule. That is the analogy. And this Kentucky Quarter is one of the most famous mules in modern history. But it is not just a mule. It is a double-denomination mule, meaning one side of the coin shows the Kentucky Quarter design, but the other side, the reverse, shows the design of a different denomination entirely. Can you guess what it is? The other side is not the eagle of the quarter. No, it is the smooth, detailed surface of a Sacagawea dollar coin. That is right, a quarter obverse married to a dollar coin reverse, a coin with two souls, two identities, two face values, a chimera of metal. This error is not just a misstrike, it is a profound procedural failure. It should never have happened. The dies for quarters and the dies for dollar coins are different sizes. They are in different presses. They are in different parts of the mint. For these two dies to come together and strike a single planchet means that a human operator or a robotic system made a catastrophic error, grabbing the wrong die, installing it in the wrong press. It is a breach of protocol of the highest order, and the result is a numismatic legend. The value of this coin, this used circulated hybrid monster, is a mind-blowing $10 million. 10 million. Why? Because its rarity is off the charts. It is believed only a handful of these Kentucky Sacagawea mules escaped the mint. They slipped past quality control. They were mixed in with regular quarters, and they entered the wild. The grading of this coin, again by either PCGS or NGC, is paramount. Its grade, even as a circulated piece, confirms the sharpness of the details on both sides. It verifies that the clash of designs is clear and dramatic. The certification slab it resides in is its passport to the upper echelons of the collecting world. It is its birth certificate and its diploma all in one. Without that grade, without that encapsulation, it would be much harder to command such an astronomical price. The market for such an error is a global one. Every major error coin collector on the planet would be vying for this piece. They are not just collecting coins. They are collecting mistakes. They are collecting stories of industrial fallibility. They are owning a piece of a secret history that very few people even know exists. Now, the selling path for a coin like this is identical to the Virginia quarter. It must go to a top-tier auction house. The marketing campaign for such a coin would be immense. It would make headlines in numismatic publications worldwide. The auction would be a historic event, a date circled on the calendars of the world's wealthiest collectors. You would not simply list it online. You would entrust it to the experts who know how to cultivate that level of excitement and competition. So, let this sink in. A coin that is half quarter, half dollar, worth $10 million? It feels like a dream, a numismatic fairy tale. But it is as real as the change in your pocket, and it begs the question, what if? What if you have one? What if you have seen a coin that looks wrong, that feels wrong, that has a design on one side that does not match what should be there? That is the thrill of the hunt. That is the pulse-pounding excitement of numismatics. It is not just about old coins. It is about errors. It is about the ones that got away. The phantoms of the mint. If you're loving this journey into the world of high-stakes coin collecting, if your heart is racing just thinking about the possibility, then I need you to take a second and subscribe to the channel. Tap that subscribe button and hit the bell icon. Because we are building a community of treasure hunters here, and I do not want you to miss what comes next. Because our final coin, the 2008 Arizona State Quarter, is the king of them all. The most valuable, the most dramatic, the one that holds the record, a record $13 million. The story of this coin is one of such immense pressure, and such a bizarre minting anomaly that it will leave you speechless. Stay right there. This is it, the grand finale, the story of the coin that stands above all others in our trilogy of modern treasures, the 2008 Arizona State Quarter, the $13 million marvel. By now, you understand the theme. Common coins, extraordinary errors. But this one, the Arizona Quarter, takes the concept of an error and elevates it to a form of art, a geological event captured in metal. The 2008 Arizona Quarter is a beautiful coin. It features the Grand Canyon in all its majestic splendor, a saguaro cactus standing sentinel in the foreground. It is a tribute to the stark, beautiful landscape of the American Southwest. Millions were made. They fill cash registers across the country. But one specific coin is unlike any other. Its condition, used, its physical dimensions, standard, 175 mm thick, 5.67 grams heavy, Ionu Trifortuant Jadu 6 mm wide. But its internal structure, its very soul, is a numismatic nightmare and a collector's ultimate dream. This Arizona Quarter is the most extreme example of a broad-struck error ever discovered on a state quarter. A broad strike. What does that mean? Imagine the collar die, the ring that surrounds the plancher as it is being struck. The collar die is what gives the coin its ridged edge, its reeded edge. It is what contains the metal and forces it to spread upwards into the design. In a broad strike error, the collar die fails. It is not there, or it malfunctions. So when the hammer die smashes down onto the blank plancher with hundreds of tons of pressure, there is nothing to contain the metal. The metal flows outward like pancake batter on a griddle. It spreads far beyond its intended diameter. The design becomes distorted, stretched, ghost-like. It is a coin that has exploded in size while being struck. Now, for most broad strikes, the coin remains somewhat recognizable. But for this specific 2008 Arizona Quarter, the error is so severe, so dramatic, that the coin is almost a perfect, flat, featureless disc, with only the faintest, most ethereal traces of the Grand Canyon design visible. Like a whisper on the metal, it is a coin that has been utterly transformed. It is barely a quarter anymore in appearance, yet it is the most valuable quarter in the world. Its value, a heart-stopping, record-shattering $13 million. $13 million. For a piece of metal that looks like it was run over by a train and then flattened in a hydraulic press. Why? Because this represents the absolute extreme. The ultimate failure of the minting process. The perfect storm of a missing collar and a perfectly placed plancher. The rarity of such a dramatic, well-preserved broadstrike is incalculable. It is likely unique. There may be no other state quarter with an error this severe and this visually striking. When this coin was submitted to PCGS or NGC, the graders would have been looking not for wear, but for the completeness of the error, the evenness of the flow of the metal, the clarity of the ghosted design. They would have certified it as a genuine mint error of the highest magnitude. And that certification, that label, is what announces to the world that this is not a damaged coin. This is an error coin, a product of the mint, a piece of official U.S. currency that was created wrong. And that distinction is everything. A coin that is damaged after it leaves the mint is worthless. A coin that is mismade inside the mint is a priceless artifact. The market for this coin, well, it is the pinnacle. The owner of this coin would own a piece of numismatic history, a conversation piece that has no equal in the modern error coin world. Selling it, again, requires the grand stage of a Heritage or a Stack's Bowers auction. It would be the headline lot, the star of the show. It would be marketed for months, with presentations and private viewings for the world's top collectors. The final hammer price would be a world record, a testament to the coin's unparalleled status. And so, we have reached the end of our journey. From a chaotic double-struck Virginia quarter worth $6 million, to a hybrid mule Kentucky quarter worth $10 million, to this, the exploded, flattened, ethereal Arizona broadstrike worth $13 million, 3 coins, 3 stories, 3 testaments to the fact that treasure is all around us. It is in our pockets. It is in our hands. We just have to learn how to see it. We have to train our eyes to look for the unusual, the off-center, the wrong design, the missing edge, the strange thickness. The hunt is what makes this hobby so thrilling. The possibility, however remote, of finding something that is literally 1 in a billion. If this video has opened your eyes, if it has made you look at your change in a new light, then I have done my job. But our journey does not have to end here. My channel is dedicated to uncovering these secrets, to educating new collectors, to building a community of hunters. So if you want to continue this adventure with me, I need you to do 3 things right now. First, smash that like button if you found this information valuable. Second, subscribe to Rare Coins Info and click the bell so you never miss a video. We are just getting started. And third, most importantly, share this video with a friend. Share it with your family. Post it on your social media. You never know who you might inspire. You never know who might have one of these treasures sitting in a jar. Completely unaware, together, we can uncover the secrets hidden in plain sight. Thank you for watching. Stay curious and happy hunting. I will see you in the next video.